Today, let's talk about quarter century Stampede without me getting angry or emotional because I just want to talk about this set and a whole of what it is. Now, recently, if you talk to me in Discord on Zodiac Duelist or even in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Organization Discord, I have vented my frustrations out from the set because I got a total of 3 boxes. Now, without knowing, my whole entire local are all the cases that they ordered all were mispackaged. And what does this mean? Well, here are the luxury rarities for the collector rares, the ultimate rares, and the quarter century secret rares. So we're going to just be taking a look at the quarter century secret rare section because this is a little interesting. Now, it might be a very slim chance of a mispackaged whole case or cases, but in the boxes, there were only the 9 quarter century secret rares, all of which were from the nostalgia pool. So this goes against what Konami has on their product page, where 1 in 4 chance you get a platinum secret rare or a quarter century secret rare. So realistically, I should be getting at least 3 of them out of every single box, along with the nostalgia QCRs. So this is very interesting to take a look at. Sure, a few of them are actually very good for past formats, like your Pendulum Sword, Breakthrough Skill, or even High Priestess of Prophecy. Even Zodiac Rapier is a very good card for that. And I'm not going to be complaining that I pulled 4 Fualoses and 5 Engravers. But I'm going to be complaining about the QCR front, where there's only a total of 9 when you're supposed to get 6 per box, as we've seen from pack openings, and I've heard reports even from Ruxin, where he was getting anywhere from 6 to 8 per box, which is very cool and actually very good, because that's the 1 in 4 working. But when you look at it like this, you have a point where I would say that this has been mishandled some shape, way, or form, where it's not supposed to happen with how the distribution center works. Now, on top of this, it's very weird to have everyone from my local store out here in Michigan just saying, hey, we only got 3 QCRs, so what is going on? Right now, my OTS head is pretty much saying that he's trying to contact Konami right now. I've even sent an email out as well, but it's going to be a little bit because they're super busy, because it's almost the end of the week and they're getting more reports because a new set came out. So honestly, it's very interesting. While I see everyone else pulling their respective amount of QCRs per box, which honestly is kind of pains a little because of that. But overall, I enjoyed opening it. I was going to upload a video until I noticed this error, and that's where my mute started going down since yesterday because of that reason, where you're promised a guarantee and you just don't get it. While other people, they are pulling, seems like God cases, where every single box or so has multiple of these one of alt art QCRs, and that's another thing I wanted to talk about with the quarter century Stampede. Now, quarter century Stampede is a very good set, but there are issues. Now, one thing that a few people did gloss over when this set released was this sentence that is right, I think, down here. However, we're also adding a bunch of brand new variant art versions of existing cards to the core set's quarter century secret rare pool. A lot of people missed out on that when this set originally came out, but I did take a note of that, and then I completely forgot about it because this was announced back in like November when OCG started with their quarter century art collection. And one thing I like to point out to people with this set is that look how many cards are QCR only. Now, let's take a look at the OCG side of things. Like, let's go take a look at Access Code Talker real quick, that recently just got a brand new alternate art. Now, if we look at the set for Quarter Century Art Collection, the base art came in ultra rare, but then the alternate art and the base art both came in secret and Quarter Century secret rare if it already didn't have one. So let's just take a look at the set list real quick for the Quarter Century Art Collection, and as you can see, every single base art here is already just super rare, which is great. Then we get into the secret rares, and you can see the whopping, everything, or almost everything, I should say, comes in secret rare. No, wait, everything comes in secret rare. As you can see, the alt art and the original art are in their secret rare for the set, which is very great. But then when you get to the QCRs, you could see it is a mix of them where the alternate art takes priority over the QCR if it already has a QCR from the OCG. And we can see this with the Vect Veiler because that already has a QCR over in Japan. And then we also go to things like Access Code Talker, which already got a QCR main deck, and the list goes on. And then you have things right here, look, Lady Labyrinth gets both, while Dibelstar already had one, so it's getting only the alt art. So I don't know if this is just because of how the OCG has a tight grip on the TCG between what we do, especially with things like the ban list, rarities, and the products, or even how the cards are printed in what way. It is definitely disheartening to the consumer when people were expecting some of the cards to come out in secret rare as well, so they can have a matching set, or even in other luxury rarities, to have that matching set with other things. Because I was hoping for things like Effect Veiler's alternate art to have the collector rare, so I can match it with my rarity 2, was it? Rarity 1 collector rare, or maybe the Access Code Talker, my collector rare, to match the new collector rare. And it's just very annoying in many cases because this is anti-consumerism towards of what people would like to pull, because now you're making it super hard to get in general. Now, this is definitely one thing to say, because we have all the Dark Magician arts in Platinum Secret and Quarter Century Secret Rare. That's fine, that's all nostalgia stuff. But when we look at things like the new Lightning Storm, people were super excited to get that, but it's only QCR. Even with Zeus, I was hoping to pull a Zeus, but then I didn't get a single main pool QCR, which really hurts. I love the Zeus art because this artwork is one of the best artworks that we've had out of the Quarter Century Art Collection, because it is his final strike against the Sky Crisis Typhon. And it really hurts to say that this set really kind of hurt the spirit of how I perceive the game, where they want things to be easily accessible to players instead of being locked behind a high pay gap where you have to spend probably about $200-300 for a playset, where I'd rather just pick up the cheapest option at that point and not have an easily accessible alternate art. I hope Konami does fix this in the future, I really do. But let's also look at things from Stampede that should have been different. I don't know why Konami has this hard on for making Dragon Master Magia a cover card of Battle Legends, a QCR only, when it also should have been a secret rare, because it was one of the main selling points that people were excited for Battle Legends Monstrous Revenge, I think it was. And honestly, I definitely think that they should have just went all out. You can get all 6 rarities in here, because when we look at Dragon Master Magia, it's only it's Terminal Revenge, I'm sorry, but it's only a QCR, when the rest of the box set that it came out of for the Quarter Century Duelist box was in secret and ultra rare. That kind of disheartens things more, because if we look at Battle Legends Terminal Revenge, it's the cover card on every single pack, and they marketed the cover card, a QCR that no one thought the Wiser was going to be only QCR. Because then let's look at the QCRs again. We have 3 QCR only cards, being Ray, Rose, and Magia. And along with something like Bonanza, we could see there's QCR onlys of Ghost Reaper, Ghost Sister, House Dragon Maid, Dreadnought Cannon, Juggernaut Lieb, Shizuku, and Hospitality. This is not okay for a consumer level of product because the consumer wants these cards. But if you're restricting them to this specific place, it's gonna make them not want to buy the product. I definitely think that the misstep that Konami had with Quarter Century Bonanza was the vote for 100 cards in the nostalgia pool. Because I feel like it also pushed some of the cards from the nostalgia pool, and the ones that were top voted got shoved into the main set. Because people were expecting things like Cashiers to be in here, even Bestials as well, or even other things too. And one of the things that kind of irks me is because we had all 6 of the Ghost Sisters being reprinted in their original art. And this is one thing I've gone on rants about. We also have 5 of the 6 Ghost Sister alternate arts being Quarter Century Secret Rare. And I want to bring that up as well because I want to make this more well known that they forgot about it. And I'm just going to pull this to the side and do that because it's like, cool. The Yokai girls, we all know them. And let's just flip through each and every one of them, starting with everyone knows about things like Ghost Reaper. You could see original art, QCR, and then you have the alternate art that we had later in a QCR labeled here. And we could see, let me just go to the gallery for all of these at this point, because that would be so much faster than this. Now, we have a very interesting thing that only 5 of the 6 got it, which is, in my opinion, crazy because, yeah, you have the QCR right here, the original art, and then you have the QCR of the alternate art. Now, this was from Quarter Century Bonanza, where both of them were in here. But the alt art, if you look, was the main precedent, when the QCR for the original art was the surprise factor. Then you look at things like Ash Blossom and Joy Spring. You could see Quarter Century Stampede, this is for the alt art, and you have Rarity Collection 1 with the original art. Let's see, did any of these others load up? Not really, because PG is having a hard time right now. So my point still stands. You have Ghost Ogre original art right here in Rarity 2 for the QCR, and now you have Rarity 4 for the original art. So you could see, right, there's one, here's another. Then we go to something like the, I want to keep Ghost Bell for last. You have alternate art, Ghost Sister, and original art Ghost Sister and QCR. And then you go to Ghost Mourner. You have original art Ghost Mourner, QCR here. And then you have the alternate art QCR, which in my opinion is a great one. But then when you go to Ghost Bell, she has only gotten her original art as a QCR instead of the alternate art. And in my opinion, I was excited for this one to get an alternate art or a QCR because it is my preferred art of the two, even though I am playing the Secret Rare first editions. But I always liked the alternate art because of how beautiful it looks. And that is one thing that kind of pained me because everyone was like, these 4 arts will be in Rarity 4. This one missed out. Konami forgot one, which is kind of a shame because if we look in something like the where is it? The Quarter Century Art Collection and all that, they have all the Ghost Girls in here in their alternate arts, all 6 of them. Even things that were missing the alternate art, like Ghost Sister and Ghost Mourner and Ghost Ogre. where the first ones they did was Ash and Bell. And then they did the rest, while TCG's just forgetting QCR Ghost Bell. But let's get back to Bonanza or Stampede as a whole. Instead of looking at all that, I wanted to talk about a lot of the cards that really should have been in the nostalgia pool first. Things like Mystic Piper and Esper Girl, Gaga Magician, and Abyss Lind to start off the whole entire gate. These 4 cards all should have been in the nostalgia pool instead of the main pool. I get that you're cross-promoting with Mimighoul, and even the Duelist Advances new Psychic stuff, or even things like Duelist Advances cover card, and even the new Mermail Atlantean support from Supreme Darkness and Rage of the Abyss. But no one's playing Lind anymore. This card is kind of slow nowadays. Gaga Magician, I guess, you're not going to use it really, but you're going to use something on the lines of other things from the newer cards. Esper Girl it's alright, but in my opinion, it's definitely one of the cards that you're not going to run, because a lot of the new stuff that we're getting, the old cards don't supplement how the newer cards are. They clash with how the newer cards work, while the older cards get pushed behind. That's how we've seen it multiple times in many other decks. Now, as we keep going, we could see Cyber Dragon Core. That's actually a good reprint, because if we look at something like Cyber Dragon Core, it hasn't had a reprint in quite some time. Another thing that's here is Edge Imp Chain. We got Edge Imp Chain, but no Fright for Patchwork. The 2 cards that they usually reprint together, which is very crazy. And yeah, the last time that we had a Cyber Dragon Core reprint was back in 2021. And then if we look at Edge Imp Chain, okay, Crystal Revenge, Fusion Enforcer, 2016 Mega Pack, and Cross Souls. Let's look at Fright for Patchwork real quick, because I'm right here, and it's probably right in my face, because it's always somewhere. Fright for Patchwork. Where are you? There you are. We could see Soul Fusion, Dual Power, and Crystal Revenge. They put it with Crystal Revenge back in 2019 or 2022. But they didn't give it a QCR, which is kind of weird, because you run both of them in tandem, because one searches out the other, and this one searches out the other. So that's kind of a weird oddity. Black Metal Dragon was great. Archfiend Eccentric is perfect, because Magical Musketeer, Fiendsmith, Aether, and Erebus should have been in the nostalgia pool, even though with the new Monarch stuff coming out. Lunalight Tiger, in my opinion, giving people access to it in 7 different rarities is great, because the reason that, well, new Lunalight support is going to be coming soon, and we're going to be seeing that on the live stream for OCG Times. Crystron Quan, don't know why you're in here. I would have rather had something like Smyger or another name in the main set that you run. Miscellaneousaurus is great for past format dinos, even currently with Ryugi. Apprentice Illusion Magician, I feel like that this card definitely should have been another nostalgia pick, because that's all it's been in, is Legendary Dragon decks. That's nostalgia. Legendary Duelist Magical Hero in Season 3. That's all nostalgia, pretty much. And it was also a weekly Sozin jump and a WSJ jump. So, in my opinion, that's another card that should have been nostalgia. We're on Alistair the Invoker. So one of the things with Alistair the Invoker, we have one in the nostalgia pool, and we also have one in the main pool. I don't understand why they didn't just put this Alistair the Invoker taking 1 slot more, while they could have just had it in the main pool as a QCR only, like they did with all the other QCR only cards. So there's that. And then let's just continue. Danger Tsuchinoko finally got his, so now Nessie, Jackalope, Tsuchinoko, Bigfoot all have theirs. Utopic Onomatopoeia. I was looking at this earlier, and this was reprinted in OTS Pack 25 about a year ago, and realistically, this should not have been in here, even though we're getting the new Onomat support in July. So I guess it could have been in the OTS pack again as a super rare instead. But they decided with Quarter Century Stampede. A Dusted Gold, great reprint. I'm going to pair these two together. You have Chamber Dragon Maid And along with that, you also have the Dragon Maid Tidying. Now, with these two, it's very interesting to say the least, because this is already confirmed for your Battle Legends 2025, and you also have Dragon Maid Tidying, which is also confirmed for Battle Legends Monster Mayhem. If we look at that product page real quick, you can see Dragon Maid Tidying right there has an ultra with a special seal. And I don't understand why they did this double print on each of these cards, because we know she's going to be in it. We know this is going to be in it. Because the only thing that they're not going to probably do is the token. Then we have Evil or Live Twin Kill Leela and Evil Twins Kill and Leela. Those are fine, but we didn't get the alternate arts of the Evil Twin Link monsters, which is crazy to think about. And on top of that, we didn't get the Flying Stampede Railroad Pegasus. Astral Kuriboh is a good card. Guiding Quem is great because you have the other 4 alternate arts that you have up there. Pantera, Madlove, and Caesar Valius. I think these were all reprinted in what? A couple of these were reprinted in the Megaton? I'm not too sure. I think that a couple of them did. But Memento Ange-Witch is a good reprint, in all honesty. Her and Bone Party were ones that definitely needed it. Oh no, Pantera wasn't, Mad Love wasn't, but all 3 of these weren't, when they all could have been in the Megaton instead. So I feel like that's a little hindsight on Konami's part with that. We have El Shaddai Winda. We have both arts. One of them is a normal QCR and for the alternate art, and then we have every rarity for this Winda. We have the Lunalight Leo Dancer just for the Lunalight support. The Dark Magicians, this should have been a nostalgia pool card. Fiendsmith Desiree, I was kind of shocked that Tract and Requiem weren't in here, because I definitely think that they could have put these in here instead over a couple of the choices. Crystron Phoenix, that should have been in Maze of the Masters along with the Quarian Gandrax. Crystal Clearwing Synchro Dragon, that I guess it's a big boss from a Legendary Duel set, so there's that to take a look. Goatee of the Deep Beyond didn't really need a reprint all that much. Number of 11 Big Eyes, Grateful. Gustav Max should have been a nostalgia pick, and let's just see Goatee. I guess it's a Power of the Element card that didn't get a reprint, so I guess there's that. Gaga Cowboy, I will definitely take that. Mermail Biscayos, definitely needed it. Giant Hand is perfect with 7th Ascension being in here, with 7th Tachyon being released. Cyber Dragon Infinity, definitely worth it. Lyreless Assembled Nightingale, very, very interesting choice, but I guess it's good. We have the 3 Charmers that were missing, so all 6 of them got it. 11 of the 12 Ghost Sister alt art or artworks got it, but all the Charmers got it. That makes no sense. Trap Trick Sarah is always a good card just to have for your plant decks, for your Trap Trick stacks, whatever you need it for. Extra Hero Cross Crusader finally getting Hollow is nice. Amble Whale, late reprint. Splash Mage, good reprint. Zelandis, kind of late of a reprint, and Raging Phoenix, definitely super late of a reprint. But other things, other than that, Lullaby and Left Arm definitely could have been nostalgia pooled. Hero Lives is a good one. Shien's Dojo, I should have been nostalgia pool or not in it at all. Anamonopera, it's alright, I guess, because this is your main Rhoda, I believe, for the deck. Lunalight Perfume, it's obviously good. Zodiac Barrage came off the last list, and it's still at 1, and it should have went to 2 instead. Meteoros, Drytron, and Drytron Nova, 2 cards from back in 2020 that needed a reprint that finally got their overdue reprint. And yeah, this is the double Rhoda for the deck, so this is going to be one card to keep your eyes out on. We have 7th Ascension, a very good card, definitely needed the reprint. Glad it's in here where it's easily accessible compared to if it was in Maze of the Master. Bone Party, as I said before, very good reprint. Metaltronus, another good reprint for a meta-defining staple over the past few months. Different Dimension Ground, Karma Cannon, Transaction Rollback, all good cards there. I don't know why some of this list is messed up, but you also have things like Big Welcome Labyrinth, great for decks that needed it, and I think this didn't get a reprint. I think it was only printed in 2023's Megaton, I believe, or the 2022 Megatons, I'm not too sure. But Fiendsmith, Engraver, and Fuelos, two of the best cards in the set. Fueloses are like 15 plus a piece because of how much demand there is. Engraver's like 2 to 15 at least. Black Rose Dragon, original art, sure. Yeah, it's been about... No, you didn't really need a reprint in my opinion, but I guess. Crimson Dragon, it's a good reprint. It definitely is a good reprint. Pearly Noir should have been in the Megatins. Wait, Crimson Dragon was in the Megatins. Why are you here? Typhon was a very good reprint because it needed to happen. Terraforming did not need to happen with how many printings it has already. And Secret Password, this is a weird one. Secret Password is a very weird card in this set because it doesn't have a QCR at all. It is one of the main cards in the set that doesn't have a QCR when Konami says everything that comes in super rare outside of a select few would get every 7 rarities outside of a select few. But if we look at Secret Password, the weird thing is it doesn't have a QCR at all in this set, which in my opinion is quite weird. It was only super rare, but it does not come in QCR, and that's kind of lying there. But it's definitely weird to see, but I'm tired of rambling. I'm tired of talking. Stampede, if you want to get it, go ahead and get it. Definitely a good set if you pull multiple Fueloses out of your boxes, because I think it's averaging 2 to 3 per box, or maybe 1 to 2 per box. But overall, I'm kind of displeased with this set, and I want to know you guys' thoughts on Stampede after it finally released. But anyways, I've been Bolt Spider. See you guys in the next video, and goodbye.